I now have the honor to present Her Excellency Alison Smale, Undersecretary General for Global Communications of the United Nations, Department of Public Information.
Thank you very much for such a nice introduction. It's a fantastic moment to be here, I think, just as it's getting dark and we see the lights coming on this beautiful carpet. So, Ambassador Flores, Excellencies, dear guests from Honduras and from all corners of the world, including Nutley, good evening and welcome. It is a great pleasure for me to be here. We are together to celebrate not only the UN's 72nd birthday, but a cherished tradition in Honduras, the making of sawdust carpets. Over 7 decades ago, the United Nations was established to save future generations from the scourge of war. In the 21st century, this aim is more relevant than ever, at a time when conflicts and human suffering rage on, from South Sudan to the Central African Republic, to the current crisis facing Rohingyas. At the same time, we are guided by a vision fit for our times. This is captured in the Sustainable Development Goals. Their aims are ambitious and yet achievable. To achieve the goals, all of us, member states, civil society, youth, and us individual global citizens must come together to build the future we want. In that sense, the work needed mirrors the work that went into making this carpet. It requires coming together to build something bigger than ourselves. And just like this carpet was made by young people, so does the UN rely on the energy and inspiration of young people to achieve its fundamental aims. And that definitely means you, and thank you very much for the carpet as your first act. I would also like to thank Honduras for bringing us together for tonight's occasion. Honduras, one of the founding member states of the United Nations, has been a consistent contributor to the organization in the past 7 decades on issues ranging from peacekeeping to sustainable development and beyond. We hope it continues and that by 2030 we can build together a much bigger sawdust carpet that celebrates the better future we have managed to build. Muchas gracias. Please.
Now allow me to present Her Excellency Ambassador Mary Elizabeth Flores, Permanent Representative of Honduras to the United Nations.
Welcome, Excellencies and friends. Thank you for your presence in the inauguration of the Peace Sawdust Carpet in the framework of the United Nations Day, which resulted after months of engagement of our youth in Comayagua, Honduras, and students in Nutley High School, the township of Nutley in Essex County, New Jersey, USA, contributing and collaborating on the design, technique, and process to finally piecing this unique and beautiful work of art. The tapestry depicts our shared world with doves radiating and flying out into the atmosphere, with gradient of blues from dark to light. The border includes the symbol of the Sustainable Development Goals, representing the path to opportunities and prosperity. We have carried this activity all the way from home, Honduras, into the Nutley Art class and last to the UN grounds, replicating a tradition we uphold each year on the morning of Good Friday in Comayagua and other native towns of Honduras. In this yearly cultural ritual, citizens draw designs on the streets and add all the ingredients and pieces to create elaborate and colorful carpets. After long hours of work, it is quite the experience and spectacle to witness how the sawdust carpets only last a brief moment in time, and the delicate and elaborate designs are trampled by many feet as the procession marches on, blowing colored sawdust into the wind till only the pavement remains. After crafting of the sawdust carpets dates back to the pre-Hispanic times and was co-opted by the Christian faith. While in the Americas, grand civilizations would lay carpets at the feet of kings, queens, high priests, and priestesses, weaved with symbols and motifs based on ancestral worship. From the 15th to the 19th century, in the event of the Spanish colonial rule and teachings in the Catholic faith resulted in a fusion of indigenous and Catholic beliefs manifested through the sacred imagery present in our celebrations and traditions. One craft which took root was the adoption of the sawdust carpets, concept which is traced back to Tenerife, Spain in the 7th century, utilized painted sand and flowers, inspired by the story of the laying of the palms when Jesus entered Jerusalem. In the Americas, there are historic references to sawdust carpets, originally elaborated by the Tlaxcalteca of Mexico and the Tzútujiles of Guatemala. In Guatemala, it became popularized as soon as it was replicated in neighboring countries of El Salvador and Honduras. We are the bridge in the middle of the American continent and crossroads of many migrations and settlers who have contributed their culture and traditions to one great melting pot. It is also significant to note we have fabricated this testament to peace in the plaza overlooking the river in honor of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. Upon reflection, our indigenous people were also enslaved by warring tribes and by foreign settlers and traders. Many Africans joined the same fate as slaves in our country and region, while others were fortunate and escaped this fate and became integrated into the social fabric of our community. After many centuries of intermarriage between peoples of different ancestry, religion, race, clans, and tribes, we are all Honduran, and we are a rich and intricate section of the Americas and world tapestry. It is our honor to share with you part of our evolving identity as touched and represented by Teresa Lampastato, Nutley Art teacher in her class. We thank all collaborators to this enterprise, Nutley High School, the Superintendent Julie Gelser, Principal Dennis Williams, Art Administrator James Riley, Carol Pobens, and Mario Salinas of UPF for convening young people to join minds and efforts in the carpet design and elaboration. Also the Honduras Presidential Office and the Mission for the sponsorship and support of this activity. And a big thank you to Mrs. Allison Small, Undersecretary for Global Communications of the United Nations Department of Public Information. Thank you for all your support. Now I will ask everyone to have a walk over our peace sawdust carpet to complete the inauguration. Let the peace sawdust color and spirit become a part of all of you. Thank you very much.
We can walk on it.
Let's go. Yeah. Rápido, da pesar, da pesar.